Welcome back. In internet computer news and a warning that there is a major unlocking event that is coming up in the internet computer protocol ecosystem. And we're also going to talk about the new ICP DAO, the first one in existence on the internet computer protocol. We have other topics, including Coinbase's Base blockchain surpasses Cardano. We're also going to be talking about Aave and, yes, the Bitcoin mining companies, as we've been talking about a lot recently. But we're going to start right here with something that I don't think a lot of people are realizing what's going on. We've talked about this before on the channel. If you are starting to wonder or worry or even think about whether your job is going to be replaced by AI, maybe it's not going to happen today, maybe it's not going to happen next year or 3 years from now. But what I think it's important that we at least take into account is that jobs are already being changed and outsourced. Amazon's AI checkout isn't that smart. According to Mario's report from USA Today, over 1,000 people from India are watching. Amazon's Just Walk Out technology, one of these stores where you scan into the store, you go pick up whatever you want, and then you just exit. There's no cashiers or anything. This technology, enabling customers to shop without traditional checkout, reportedly involves significant human input alongside AI, despite employing sensors and deep learning for seamless shopping experiences. Over 1,000 workers in India reportedly play a crucial role in reviewing these transactions. Now, a lot of this probably has to do with kind of like when you do the CAPTCHA and it says like, click on the bus, and then you click on the bus and then it says, okay, now click on the bike. This is training the AI. So this could be that they're using these workers to help train their own AI to make it more efficient and work better. But this is not the only area that we're seeing jobs kind of going away, right? People are going to say, well, I'm not a cashier, I don't have to worry about that. But this is the first step, right? They start at the lowest level and then they move their way higher. And this is what we're also starting to see. This person, Brett Goldstein, posted this on X. He said, "This is insane. Cashier is literally zooming into NYC from the Philippines." And apparently this is some type of chicken shop in New York City where you go in. Obviously they have regular employees that are cooking the food, but you come up to this counter and you have a virtual cashier that will ring you up and check you out. And this is a very interesting concept because in many areas, minimum wages are going up and, maybe these restaurants aren't making as much money. And also we just know that the cost of living just generally and the cost of doing business has gone up, and you can only raise your prices so much before your customers stop coming. So this is a way to trim some of that fat instead of having a cashier that you're paying whatever per hour and, all the other insurance and benefits that you have to provide. This, you don't have to do any of that. And the Philippines has a lot of these virtual assistants that help with many different jobs, and they get paid, very little in US, concept of money. But in Philippines, obviously what they're making is more of a living wage. But here for the United States, it's significantly less. And this is not the only place that we're seeing this. This user said in South America, I saw this a lot too. Many hotels, shops, office buildings had remote security people and doormen. You can see them and they can see you. Not sure where they work, but might as well be the cheapest country in South America or the world. Remote jobs are going to the next level now.
So in Uruguay and also Argentina, you see this a lot. Maybe the rest of South America too.
So you see a virtual doorman here. It's in this building. It's in the next building that he goes over to. So one of the things that we talk about on this channel is the need to kind of look ahead. Part of investing is being able to say, okay, this is where we are in the markets right now. What is going to happen in the markets based on what is going on in the individual projects, what's going on in the macro environment, in the financial world, what's happening with the central banks, and more. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Give the video a free thumbs up. We upload every single day of the year to bring you the latest happening in the financial world. And going back to this for one quick second before we get to the crypto news, this is the reason I'm talking about this at the beginning of the video is because a lot of people have been talking about, jobs being taken over by robots or AI or just, being eliminated. And people are not necessarily like, they know that their jobs are going to be automated at some point or that their company would downsize that type of position, but they're not doing anything about it, right? It's kind of like if you're a coal miner and you know that they're going to stop the coal mining, right? The business is, maybe going overseas or going out of business or whatever. And instead of looking for another job or trying to get retrained in another area, you're just saying, well, I need to find another coal job. And, unfortunately, it's going to be very hard to compete with virtual door people and virtual cashiers and all of that. So this is why investing is super important, because it can give you the ability to not worry as much as everybody else if there's a significant downturn in the job market. And Aave Chan founder Mark Zeller teases upcoming fee switch vote for Aave stakers. Now, we've been hearing a lot about Aave recently. I think that they're kind of starting to enter the cycle now. And, there's potential for huge moves. But let's understand a little bit more about what's going on here. And then we have internet computer breaking news and Cardano news and Coinbase news, as well as Bitcoin mining updates. Decentralized lending platform Aave might soon vote on whether or not to turn on a fee switch and distribute fees to holders. According to the guy, Mark Zeller, the Aave initiative founder, he said temperature check to activate a fee switch is happening next week, which is the week that this video is being recorded, noting that Aave's DAO current net profit sum to about $60 million per year, reflecting 5 years of operational costs. He had previously teased the idea of activating fees for Aave stakers in another post, saying a new version of the safety module will propose to the governance to distribute fees to stakers. And so obviously this will be good for the stakers because they're going to get a piece of the pie. And this is also something that we've been talking about in Cardano recently, because there's this question that's come up in the Cardano ecosystem of whether Cardano staking is actually sustainable. And the reason why is because the rewards are going down. We are now at the point where Cardano is under 3% rewards. You can see right here, it's just at 3% when I'm recording this video, but it keeps going up and down at that 3% level. And so this is a huge issue, right? Because part of the rewards is to incentivize the users to actually stake. But if there's no incentive, or the incentive is higher on other chains, then people are going to go use those chains. Now, the idea behind the staking ecosystem in Cardano, at least from the concept, was that eventually transaction fees would actually pay the stakers. But the issue here is that Cardano doesn't have enough transaction volume, or I should say real transaction volume, sending NFTs back and forth. This is not real transaction volume, right? So actual transaction volume, if you increase the fees on the Cardano blockchain, you're going to have less volume because you're not going to have all of this wash trading of NFTs to inflate the transactions per second. But the other issue is, are people going to use the chain, right? And so if you raise the fee to process a transaction and then there's less volume, you're in the same position that you were, right? You're just moving around the metrics. And so this is something that all of the ecosystems need to think about. It seems like Aave is already in the works for it. And I would imagine they probably think it's a little bit more sustainable than the current trajectory. Anyway, moving right along, we're going to come back to this in just a minute, the Coinbase story. But we're going to start right here. There's a massive unlock that is about to go underway on April 10th of 2024. Now, this video is going to be released, you guys are probably watching it maybe right at the 10th or shortly thereafter. But here's the deal. A lot of people have been reaching out and saying, Cryptoviser, is this something that we should worry about? I didn't even know, to be honest, that there was this unlocking, right? And so you can see that over the last, we'll just pull it up 9 months. You can see that we've had December, a 1.3 million ICP unlock, January, 1.3 million ICP unlock, February, 1.3 million ICP unlock, March, 1.29 million ICP unlock, and then now we're going to be seeing April 10th, 1.27 million ICP getting unlocked. Now, I originally thought this was supply that just wasn't released yet or locked from Genesis block, but that's not what it appears to be. This just appears to be coins that are going to be unstaked, right? So we know in the internet computer ecosystem, the way that staking works is you lock your coins into a neuron for a certain amount of time, and that time can last anywhere from less than a month all the way up to 8 years. And so understanding this concept, as these coins are vested or staked and their staking period is coming to an end, we're going to start seeing more ICP getting pulled out of the staking mechanism. And so maybe it'll be restaked for another period of time. Maybe it won't. But this is not that much of a worry to me. Again, this is if I'm understanding this right, and I think I am. This would be more of an issue if we looked at the internet computer supply and they were just increasing the total supply. And that's not what they're doing. This is just coins that were staked that are being unstaked. And so a lot of people were worried about this. I mean, I was even worried. I was like, is this going to affect the price? Maybe it will. I don't know. I mean, somebody who staked this may have staked it at $2 and now we're at $18, $17, $18. That's a huge growth. So maybe they'll take some profits off the table. But generally speaking, guys, if you watch my videos, you know, I am so bullish on Internet Computer Protocol, significantly more than many of the other holdings that I have. And while I have taken some profits off the table, I still hold some, and I'm waiting for dips to buy some more. Now, maybe we won't even get those dips. I mean, we saw what happened with Solana, $8 to $200, no dips. Now, Internet Computer went from about $2.90 in September of 2023 all the way up to about 20-something dollars. Are we going to dip again? I don't know. I mean, as I've explained, I've shared on my videos, my dollar cost average is around I think 450 or 475, something like that. And so I'm not that worried. I mean, we could drop 75% and I will still be above my, or approximately, I will be above my dollar cost average. So I'm not that worried about Internet Computer Protocol. I do want to own more. I do want to continue to accumulate. There's a lot of people that are paying attention to ICP now that they have demonstrated the use of actual AI that's computing on the Internet Computer blockchain. And then I heard this. Jan, who's the chief technology officer at Dfinity, the company behind Internet Computer and a cryptographer, he congratulated ICP Swap for being reincarnated as the first Internet Computer Protocol DAO, or Decentralized Autonomous Organization. Now, what exactly does this mean for Internet Computer? Well, if you go to the actual page for the network nervous system, which, by the way, any Internet Computer or Dfinity engineers, you guys got to make these dashboards like this more easily accessible. So maybe this needs to be on the Internet Computer Protocol website and have a link at the top that says dashboards, because most people that that are interacting with my channel have no idea about the Internet Computer dashboard, that at dashboard.internetcomputer.org or whatever it is. This one I didn't even know about. And there's a lot of other dashboards that I think would be very, very useful for users, and it needs to be readily accessible from the main Internet Computer website. So that's just a little side note, and I would imagine many of you would agree. But anyway, this is, I imagine, just the launchpad ecosystem for the network nervous system, which is effectively how the Internet Computer operates. And so ICP Swap stands as the native, pioneering, and premier decentralized exchange within the Internet Computer Protocol ecosystem, providing an extensive array of financial and market services. They say our users and fans may immerse themselves in the ultimate DeFi experience, featuring a broad spectrum of token standards, trading, dedicated staking pools, robust yield farming, innovative claim features, and more. With ICP Swap, we are nearly exploring every facet of DeFi. Now, I'm going to be doing a separate video specifically on ICP Swap and this whole DAO that's being launched. And you may be saying, but Cryptoviser, how is this actually a DAO? Well, if we look here, they are looking to create their own coin, right? And you can see that the current total participants that participated in this vote was 1,809, right? So 1,800 individual participants, a direct commitment for this project, ICP Swap, and this will allow you to swap ICP with many other ecosystems, effectively creating the hub of the future of decentralized finance. And in the app, you can actually see how you can swap, what coins you can swap with, and this is all within the Internet Computer Protocol. And so obviously we know about chain key technology on the Internet Computer. So this is how, generally speaking, this is how Internet Computer bridges these coins from one chain to another. And obviously there are some native coins that are living within the Internet Computer ecosystem already. So you could be able to swap here. They have a liquidity hub. They have token pools, farms in the marketplace. I mean, there's so much info here. And granted, we are still in the early stages of ICP Swap being a decentralized autonomous organization, creating their own ecosystem of swapping, creating their own coins, the ICP Swap supply. ICP Swap, this basically says the same thing, nothing different than what we already read. And so, yeah, I mean, for me, this is huge, right? This is the first real implementation that we're seeing, at least recently, of internet computer ecosystem growing, them deploying technologies, them allowing users access to actually swap their coins and bridge their coins from other ecosystems or to other ecosystems. This is huge. This is really huge. And so ICP Swap is now effectively its own governance ecosystem within this DEX. You can see that initial voting period is 4 days. Reject cost is 50 IC swap coins. The minimum dissolve delay to vote is 30 days. The maximum dissolve delay is 2 years. And maximum age for the bonus, which is 100% on a maximum dissolve delay, is 100% bonus. And it's 2 years. And so there's a lot more that we'll understand. I'm still learning about ICP Swap, how this voting ecosystem operates. I think many of you are learning it as well, and we're going to continue to learn together right here on the channel. So make sure you guys are subscribed right here on the Cryptoviser podcast. And while you're down there clicking the subscribe button, also give the video a free thumbs up. So effectively, this ICP Swap is reinventing the exchange as a hub that provides full stack financial market and DAO services on the internet computer. They provide these services based on the underlying technology of Dfinity's internet computer. ICP Swap establishes an ecosystem of genuinely decentralized finance by refactoring the way users and developers build projects jointly. The Dfinity's internet computer is the world's first frictionless blockchain with web speed and internet scale. ICP Swap is the next generation of decentralized exchange based on the internet computer. And so you can mint tokens, they have pools, swap and liquidity, token lists, chat and ads, committees, votes, and arbitration. And so what are the tokenomics? ICP Swap tokens is an ecological token of the ICP Swap, as well as a governance token with a total issuance of 1 billion coins. With the ICP Swap flexibility, diverse, and business incentive mining applications and governance scenarios, each ICS coin embeds itself in the entire ICP Swap ecosystem. ICS will eventually capture the value of ICP Swap ecosystem by creating a perfect deflationary model through continuous repurchase and burns. And you guys know on the Cryptoviser podcast, whenever an ecosystem is saying that they will burn coins, we are excited about that. Anyway, moving right along, Coinbase's Base blockchain now is processing up to over 3 million transactions in a day, which is approximately 34 transactions per second. So let's kind of break this down a little bit. If we look at this chart right here, you can see all transactions and users daily. This is on Dune Analytics, and it's on the Base blockchain. And effectively, if we look at the end of March, the transaction count was 2.26 million. The 30th, it was 2.39 million. The day before that, 2.27 million. And so that's a huge number. And so getting this to a transaction per second concept, basically, or I should say calculation, basically we would take the number 2.4 million. Actually, let's do this backwards. There's 60 seconds in a minute, there's 60 minutes in an hour, and there's 24 hours in a day. So we have 86,400 seconds in a day. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2.4 million transactions and we're going to divide it by 86,400. And that's about 27 transactions per second. Now, this does sound very low because it is. I mean, it's not thousands of transactions per second as we're seeing be processed on other blockchains like Internet Computer Protocol and Solana as well. But it's still a high number. And going to the headline of this video, Coinbase has now surpassed Cardano in terms of total transactions per second. And if we look at the Cardano Explorer, you can see here that Cardano's transaction per second, the actual transaction per second over the last 7 days is about 2 0.02 transactions per second. Now, the Cardano ecosystem will say, I mean, it even says here, it says, note that the number of below are an average based on recent transactions on the network. Realistically, network can have several hundred transactions per second thanks to the EUTXO model. Okay, unfortunately, the rest of crypto doesn't really use an ETUXO model for counting the number of transactions. So there is a very easy fix for this. And instead of Cardano going the easy route and saying, let's change the way that we are calculating transactions per second, they want the rest of crypto to do that. They want the rest of crypto to say, oh, well, you know, it does say 2 here, but that's not really true. It's actually 2 million transactions per second, which is not what their own data shows. And I don't know why. I cannot figure it out. If Cardano is so set on that they actually have more transactions than their own data shows, why don't they just change the way the network is processing these transactions? And you don't have to change the EUTXO model. You can take, I mean, they know if you go to the ETUXO website, you can actually see how many transactions are taking place. But then I would imagine a lot of the criticism would be that most of the transactions that are being processed are effectively NFT wash trading, right? Just going from one wallet to another, to another, to another, to another, right? Guys, we are at the lowest low in the market right now, okay? Effectively, in a bull market, right? You typically see all the metrics go higher in bull markets, right? But again, when I'm recording this, we're pre-halving. Post-halving, there's going to be a lot more. But I'm just kind of saying there's not really that much activity going on in crypto right now, right? There's a lot of like repositioning and things getting ready, but nothing's really going on. And so the idea that there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of NFTs transferring back and forth every second of every single day for the past 3 years. I mean, this is nonsense. This is nonsense. This is the same thing that I said during the previous cycle when we saw, Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs going for $2-3 million. I said to my viewers, I said, guys, they're wash trading this. I have a NFT. Let's say I bought a Bored Ape for, $50,000. And then I sell it effectively to myself for $100,000. That's a doubling of the price. And then I sell it to myself for $500,000. And then I sell it to myself for $1 million. And then before you know it, I just sold it to myself for $2 million. And what are all the headlines? $2 million NFT sold. But it wasn't actually sold. It was just me inflating the price of my own asset. I mean, effectively, the same thing can happen in any ecosystem, right? If you're a real estate agent and you want the prices to go higher, you buy a house, and then you sell it to yourself for higher, and then you sell it to yourself for higher, and then you sell it to yourself for higher. I mean, you're literally selling it to yourself. Is that actually going to work? I don't know, right? You could say, well, look, the house is worth double what everything else in the neighborhood is worth. But people are going to say, but it just kept selling 5 times in the last year. That doesn't make any sense. The same thing is going on here. I don't know why Cardano will not adjust the way that they really look at transactions per second if they want this metric to be accurate. Instead, they want everybody to go and try to figure it out. I think this is by design because the actual transaction per second is 2, minus all the NFTs. And if Cardano's ecosystem is saying, no, the NFTs are real transactions, well, that means Cardano's blockchain is just an NFT blockchain. And who's the user base of that? It's a small subsect of a small subsect of a small subsect, right? You have the financial industry as the overlying subsect of users. Then you have investors. Then you have real users. And then you have these NFT users. Like it's a niche and a niche and a niche. And so that doesn't make sense either. And so what I continue to see, and again, this goes into analysis of these blockchains and investability, right? You guys know, out of anybody, I want to hold ADA so bad, but I can't. I cannot do it. Cannot do it as we're approaching the Bitcoin halving, right? XRP. There's no I don't think that there is going to be a desire to hold XRP at all ever again on this channel, because the community that has bags, heavy bags of XRP, they're the only ones that are saying, oh no, XRP is doing all these great things. Ripple's going to IPO. What the F does Ripple IPOing have to do with XRP? What does it have to do? Nothing. Nothing. Because if it hasn't been made very apparent, Ripple doesn't care about XRP. They don't use XRP. It's not mandatory in their system. And by the way, they're selling massive, massive quantities of XRP regularly. And who are they selling it to? They're selling it to the bag holders that keep buying, thinking the price is going to go up, which it hasn't. And, this is the same kind of situation. I want to hold Cardano. But when you have Base blockchain, which doesn't even have their own coin, has significantly lower fees. It's run by Coinbase. They say it's decentralized, but questionable. They have higher transaction throughput than Cardano. And instead of Cardano's ecosystem saying, you know what, that this is not a good look for Cardano. We need to fix this. Cardano says, but Cryptoviser, you're getting it wrong. You're getting it wrong. You need to do more research, Cryptoviser, because these transactions are not counting all the transactions that Cardano has in the EUTXO model. And do you know what every investor will say to somebody who says that? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit, right? As an investor, if an investment is too complicated, it's non-investable. That's the bottom line. It's uninvestable. And so what I look for as an investor is investable assets and assets that I believe are going to go much, much higher. And we're going to talk about those right now, the Bitcoin mining companies. I posted this poll on my YouTube page. And by the way, you could still take this poll. Click on my logo down below, take you to my YouTube page, click the community tab, and you'll see the polls. So I posted this last week or 2 weeks before I'm recording this video. It says Bitcoin halving is this month. Do you own any Bitcoin mining stocks? 50% said no, and I do not plan on buying any. Whoa. And so if I did the same thing for Cardano, it would be boom, yes, everybody's buying Cardano, right? And this doesn't make any sense because as we just laid out, just some base metrics, Cardano's losing to Coinbase. And that's just using the Coinbase metrics. If you look at the staking ecosystem, percentage of rewards is the lowest outside of Binance. And Celestia's has gone down fairly significantly over the last few days. I don't know exactly why that is. But anyway, it doesn't matter. These Bitcoin mining companies, I believe, some are so undervalued. I almost think it's a joke. And we're now seeing a lot more reporting on these Bitcoin mining companies as we approach the Bitcoin halving, as I predicted. I told my viewers in March, I said, guys, in April, as we're approaching the Bitcoin halving, the focus and the narrative is going to switch from whatever it was in, right? Coinbase's new base blockchain, AI, cryptos, whatever it is, it's going to change to Bitcoin mining. And now we're seeing this on one of the companies that we've been talking about heavily on this channel, Gryphon Mining. This is from Bitcoin Magazine. Publicly traded Bitcoin miner runs on 100% renewable energy according to their audit confirming this. Dennis Porter, another big Bitcoin advocate, he says auditor finds that emissions from Bitcoin miner Gryphon Mining is 100% renewable. Gryphon currently manages 1 million terahashes of Bitcoin mining, which is I think 1 exahash. And then we see this. Riot Blockchain, their new Bitcoin mining facility in Corsicana, Texas, has regulatory approval for a 1 gigawatt of load. This first phase is 400 megawatts, 4 buildings, each 100 megawatts, micro BT rigs in quiet immersion, ramping up this year. And so we're seeing all of the signs about where the narrative is shifting. And where is it shifting? It's shifting to the Bitcoin mining companies. And so when I see a company like this, Gryphon Mining, which is a $50 million valuation, it's one of the smallest Bitcoin mining companies. They have executives from some of the largest Bitcoin mining companies working on their team now. How can I not be bullish? How can I not be bullish? And again, nothing I say on this channel is financial advice. I'm kind of walking you through my investment thesis, my strategy, my kind of concerns about the market, but these may be different than yours, So you have to do your own research, never make investment choices based on what I say. I could be wrong about anything and everything that we talk about on this channel. With that said, I would appreciate if you guys give the video a free thumbs up. So I have been buying massive quantities of Bitcoin mining companies. I think most of them are going to do well, but when you look at these small ones like Gryphon Mining, I mean, $50 million compared to the largest Bitcoin mining company in the United States with Marathon Digital. Marathon Digital has a $5 billion market cap, right? So if Gryphon, I'm not saying this is going to happen this cycle, but I'm just theorizing, okay? We're at a $50 million valuation in Gryphon Mining. Let's say it does a 10x from here. Okay, it just 10x's. It's still $500 million. It's not even close in market cap to any of the other Bitcoin mining companies. So this is one of the reasons I'm really bullish on this stock. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, that it's going to go that high, but I mean, just look at the Marathon chart from the last cycle, okay? It went from $1.90, well, even you could say right after the halving, it went from 84 cents, 80 cents, all the way up, the peak of the market, to $80 effectively. So 80 cents times 10 is $8, times 10 is $80. So it's 100x Marathon Digital did during the last cycle. Is that going to happen with Gryphon Mining? I don't know. But I would be happy with a 3x, right? But I'm going to be holding that to see. I mean, maybe I'll trade a little bit, but I do think that there is huge potential in Gryphon Mining. I'll give you guys a few other Bitcoin mining stocks that are low market cap that you guys may be interested in looking into. One is Stronghold Digital Mining, SDIG, on the NASDAQ. This is a $45 million market cap. We also have Grid, GRDI, on the NASDAQ. This is $47 million. And obviously there's differences between these companies and what their performance looks like, what their revenue looks like, and all of that. In my view, Gryphon Mining has the strongest narrative behind it, with the fact that they're using renewable energy, the fact that they're fairly new, the fact that their executives are from these large Bitcoin mining companies like Riot Platforms, which is another huge one, $2.5 billion market cap. So there's still room to grow here. I mean, doubling just to get to the largest Bitcoin mining company. So there's going to be a Bitcoin mining battle this cycle, and I'm super excited about it. But part of understanding this is being well positioned for the bull run and for the narrative shift. You want to be getting in these assets before the narrative shifts. And a lot of it is guessing, right? Because we don't know where the narrative is going to shift before it shifts. So we have to guess. And I just guess we're moving to the Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin is going to have a lot of volatility, even on the downside, right? People are going to, if Bitcoin drops, people are going to be, oh my God, Bitcoin's crashing. You see, it's over for Bitcoin. It's like, whatever, right? So these are my thoughts about the market. These are my thoughts about crypto, about Cardano, about Base, about Internet Computer Protocol. I want to know what you guys think down below in the comments. We covered a ton in today's video. As always, we upload every single day of the year since 2018 to bring you the latest happening in the financial world. This year is actually 6 full years on the channel. It's unbelievable. Never thought we would be going this long, but it's thanks to all of you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Invest responsibly. Do your own research, and crypto on.